All right, welcome to our It Takes a Village series. I am Dr. Carrie.
I'm Dr. Michelle.
And here we have Kelly from Barre3. So Kelly, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi. We opened up a Barre3 studio. It'll be 2 years in February. And I am just like every other mom out there, busy juggling balance in my life. And for many, many years, I was caught up in the fitness industry where I was constantly doing things that were not serving my body and was in that competitive world of not feeling good after my workouts, having some achy joints and not feeling balanced. And after a while, I thought, you know what? I need to shift and start finding 60 minutes for myself where I was going to feel balanced and good. So I discovered Barre3 and went through the vetting process with my husband. And here we are. It's been the space that we've opened up to the community, and it's been organically growing from day one, where we were literally teaching classes in garages and parks and getting awareness out there. And yeah, it's been quite the journey. It's a workout that's low impact. There's no jumping going on. So it's really easy on the joints, and it's functional movement. And that's what spoke volumes to me, because I wanted to spend 60 minutes on something that was going to help me later on without feeling like I was not only depleted, but taking care of myself without furthering any injuries. So kind of in a nutshell, that's what Barre3 is. But yeah.
Sure. Talk a little bit, Kelly, what does functional movement mean?
Right. So we work really on a lot of the stabilizer muscles, movement that sometimes does not get developed, throughout the day. For instance, our core work, it's stable core while creating a little bit of chaos with the limbs, because we don't want to be crunching, because we do a lot of this on the computer. We're driving like this. So whatever we're doing at the studio is to help us stand taller and to wake up those muscles so that when the dog's pulling us, or say, for instance, something falls or we're slipping, our core is going to remember what it needs to do to stay strong. So the class is really set up to wake up some of those sleepy muscles that don't get targeted. For instance, your glutes, which are the strongest muscles in the body, but yet seem to be the laziest. And so what happens is the low back tends to turn on first. So we spend a lot of time in the class focusing on finding that connection with the glutes, so that at the end of the day, our body knows to turn on those glutes every time we bend down and pick something up. So all these things that we do throughout the day, standing up, reaching for something, the class is set up to move your body in a healthy way so that we're growing older more gracefully. And the way that our class is set up is it's 60 minutes, and there's a formula to it. So the way that the class was formulated was actually through physical therapists. So Sadie Lincoln, who developed this about 11 years ago, they're based out of Portland, Oregon. I listened to one of her podcasts and really aligned with her believing in this formula. It's set up where you get a full, thorough warm-up, which sometimes when you take class, we're not warming up the body properly. And that's where injury starts to happen. So there's a thorough warm-up at the beginning, about 10 minutes of it. And then we go into leg work. And that leg work is set up where you're working those small, tiny little muscles where you might tend to feel a little shaky and quaky. And that's the point where we want to get you to push through that so that you can lean into that discomfort, so that you can strengthen all those tiny muscles that sometimes don't get targeted. And then from leg work, then we go into combo work, and that is resistance training. So I think when people think bar, they think it's like this ballet thing, and it's totally not anything like that. So when I say resistance training, it is with weights as small as 1 pound all the way up to 8 pounds, and we're moving the body functionally, and we're using resistance training to, build muscle tone, but also, develop healthy movement. And from there, we also go into a little cardio burst to kind of flush everything out and to get that little endorphin high. And then we focus more on glute work, more on core work. And then you get a lovely stretch and breath work at the end, which to me is what we really truly need. And it's training our clients to know that that is just as important as the cardio and as all those other little pieces in the class, because it's really focusing on those few minutes to just unplug and to just connect your breath and learn to lengthen your breath so that you can work through the messy stuff, which is kind of what we're doing in class. We're learning how to breathe through the uncomfortable parts of the class so that outside of those four walls, when life gets messy, we can sit back and we can learn how to breathe, and we can learn how to find peace in the chaos and find patience, when life gets a little crazy. So, I always say in our class about the calorie burn, it is so much more. It's kind of this place for women to come without judgment, without competition, really a place to feel safe. And that spoke volumes to me, because every Barre3 that you walk into, you will feel that. And I took a lot of pride in that when building my team. And I've taken a lot of boutique fitness classes and have not felt that. And I've felt maybe that I didn't belong, or maybe it was too cliquey, or maybe intimidated. And I thought, I'm, going to be 42 years old. Like, I don't want to feel that way anymore. I want to feel like if I've got 60 minutes to myself, I want to leave feeling balanced in my body, and then empowered from within, and feel really, really strong. So that was kind of the premise of everything. And then on top of it, it was important for me to have Play Lounge, because our market is that working mom. It is the mom who's trying to find balance and juggle all these things, and knowing that when she drops her child off, that she can feel safe and she can have those 60 minutes to herself, so that she can, fill her cup and then fill someone else's cup the rest of the day and be able to give 100%. So
I love that.
You guys have, I've been to your place. You guys have the cutest little play area too. So that it's really comforting and homey place to go to, for sure.
We were taking notes when we were there. But I think that just the breath work is just as important as the sweat work is huge, because as you were saying, whether it's a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, it's knowing, having the tools to be able to navigate and do better in life, so we can be the moms we want to be. We can be the partners we want to be, the friends we want to be, the family members we want to be. And one thing that struck me about Barre3 was just the community aspect. And there's some other, fitness, studios that have that community feel, but, the fact that you don't feel judged, I think that's a big thing, especially for moms. And I think you guys really do that beautifully. And each instructor has their own little flair. It's not the same class.
Right. And one thing that we do really focus on too is offering modifications, because everybody matters, right? So our clientele, it's all over the board in terms of age, in terms of fitness levels, and everybody gets it done. And that's what's so nice. And I think that there's this stigma with group fitness where we're all expected to be moving the same and doing the same thing, when we all have different ailments going on in our body. Why should we be moving the same? And that's where injury happens. And then that's when we're not being authentic to ourselves. And just to give you guys a little snapshot of what I mean by that is, we have a lot of clients that are recovering from injury, and it's either it's knee replacement, hip replacement, rotator cuff, or we have clients that just had a baby and they're able to come in safely after, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and be able to gently come in knowing what their body needs to be able to successfully work out. And on top of that, these women have been working out from the day they became pregnant all the way up until the day before they've given birth. And that's a beautiful thing, because I know that we're getting the message out there that these clients are listening to their bodies and not worrying about what anyone else is doing in class, and that they are making those safe adjustments so that they can feel successful and challenged at the same time. And I think that's the biggest thing, is to feel successful and challenged. And that's our job as instructors. We're there to push, but it is so important for these clients to be listening to what their body needs. And I know for myself, I'm on autopilot. It's so easy to be on autopilot, especially in these workouts. And I always say, this is the time to not tune out. It's the time to tune in. Tune in to what your body needs, because it is speaking to you. I think we ignore a lot of times these ailments or achiness that we might have on our bodies. And then that's what causes the injury and the long-time injury at the end of the day. So whatever we're doing in studio is preventative. It's health, it's health focused to be able to, have this functional movement so that you are, again, like I said before, growing older more gracefully and, being strong. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I just want to share, whether you're doing CrossFit or Orange Theory, or you're a runner, or, whatever it is, Barre3 is a great supplement, because you will be tapping into some of those muscles, those stabilizer muscles that you're not used to doing. And it is just going to help whatever you're doing, outside of Barre3. And I'm a runner, and I will tell you, since I've introduced Barre3 into my life, my running is more efficient because my glutes are woken up. Like, now I'm targeting my glutes. Now I'm engaging my core. And so my recovery is better. My stride is better. I just feel so much better in my body. So, it's a win-win. It's a win-win all over the board. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you were kind of talking like it's all preventative, and that kind of like made me tune in a little bit, because like that's kind of what we do, that preventative work, making sure your body's working the way that it's supposed to. And you talked a lot about the core, which the core is very important for like the low back muscles and stabilization. So we see like our patients that use the core, go to your classes, like they'll recover better, they'll hold their adjustments better, because they have that stabilization and the strength, that they'll just progress just so much quicker.
And I think the most common thing that we see, because we see people for different reasons, but I think a common theme we're seeing, especially with moms, but guys too, is their pelvis is often out of alignment, and that's the whole foundation for the rest of your spine. And that core ties in so importantly. So we're seeing similar things over and over, and we'll dive in. We'll ask them, what are we doing for movement? What are your ergonomics like? And how can we sprinkle a little bit of something to continue to move you forward, so you're not injuring yourself doing mundane things around the house or projects or sports or what have you. So movement is key, not just for the muscles, but also for your neurology. You got to keep everything functioning. So we think it's a great thing that everyone should find something that they love, and no two people are going to maybe do the same things, but they do need to keep those glutes activated.
Definitely. And so my husband, Dennis, also teaches classes. He's former football athlete, like Marine, fireman. And he's been in the fitness industry for 25 plus years, doing all the heavier dutier stuff, right? Like the high intensity. And so he'll be 51, and it's just a shift now. And now he's doing Barre3, and just like you said, that he fell in love with it, because now he's realizing the way that his body feels, and he's just moving more efficiently and effectively. And I think guys need this just as much as women do. So we do have guys that come in, and especially athletes that are just doing this for just a little bit of extra training. So first class is free. We always say, like, just get in here and try it, right? You can't go wrong. So yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you guys are in North Plainfield. Yeah. So that's good for everyone to know. So pretty close to where we are. And the fact that I love, try before you buy type of thing, and I think just when people are brand new to your place, you're able to kind of troubleshoot right away if they need modifications or anything like that. And it's great if they can bring a buddy with them. And I think I'm aware that every now and then, sometimes you'll do like a private class, like for groups and things.
Yeah. So even if there's, and we offer teacher discounts, nurse discounts. If there's a group of friends that you have that might be a little nervous of coming in and you want to do a private class, we will do a free private class for you. We'll just look at the schedule, plug out a time, and we'll make it happen. So, yes, there's definitely opportunity to get in there. And then we've got sales every now and then. We've got one that's hitting in a couple weeks, right for the holidays, where we're doing a discount, 20% off of our 10-pack. We have a January challenge coming just to get everybody focused and excited and ready to just, tackle that new year. So there's a lot of exciting things to come. We've got retail. It's just a really, really feel-good place. And the only way I can tell you is if you just come in and experience it. It's just a place to kind of let go. And depending on what are your needs for the day, right? Like maybe it's not about the calorie burn. Maybe it's just about breath work, right? Maybe it's just learning how to breathe, and maybe just to like have those 60 minutes to let go. Then that's what the focus is on your class, right? You're able to just customize it and walk in and just kind of set it up for however you want, so that when you leave, you're feeling, balanced and energized and good, without feeling so depleted or achy or like you failed, right? I think that was the fitness world that I was in. It was never enough, right? It was like, oh, I need to get more sit-ups in that minute. Oh, my run, I need to get a better run. Oh, I need to get 2 more pull-ups. Or it was just like this constant competition in my head. And honestly, it was really unhealthy. It was taking over, and it was taking over the good stuff, right? It was taking over the stuff that I needed to focus on, which was my family, which was my health. And so it was this shift, right? This new conversation now about fitness and what it really should be about. And it's about feeling good, feeling challenged, but yet having those 60 minutes to yourself for that self-care component. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, we would just like to thank you for doing this with us. It was great to kind of talk with you and find out more about what you guys do and how you support the community. So,
well, thank you for having me. Yes.
Thank you. And thanks for all that you do for the mamas out there.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Well, and thank you too. Might I mention that I'm a client of you guys as well. And I'm so fortunate to have you guys to give me that extra self-care and keep me in alignment. So it's a beautiful thing to have this partnership.
Thank you. Thank you.